We begin tonight with the scourge of human trafficking as seen through the eyes of Ofelia Flores. Flores describes herself as many things: sister, mother, grandmother, a person who at one time was considered as human cargo to be sold for profit. Now, as a human trafficking survivor, Ofelia Flores advocates to inspire victims just like her see how beautiful life can be after living through similar tragedies. 17 Cecilia Trevino shares her story.
Behind these four walls lives an example of growth. That's the message that Ofelia Flores wants human trafficking victims to know.
I'm speaking out. I'm trying to share my story because I wasn't to blame. It should have been the adults that carried that shame and blame, not children.
Back in the 80s, 17's news director Michael Traihe first covered Flores' case when he was a reporter with the Bakersfield Californian. Back then, it was a different world and victims were painted in a different light.
Like, I have these articles and they're not great headlines. It's like trauma porn to me. Like, they just want like, oh, what happened? And I just think that's horrible.
But 40 years later, she still remembers a deputy who saw past her crimes and saw her as a human being who needed help.
When I was being transported, there was a there was a sheriff that said, hey, he called on the radio and he said, hey, she needs to go to Shalimar. Why am I taking her to juvenile hall? She's clearly a victim. And by that officer saying that, for the first time, coming from almost 2 years of absolute madness, he's seen me as a human being.
Flores now dedicates her life to show victims and survivors how worthy of having a beautiful life they are.
Make a pass.
Something she wishes she knew herself.
What would you tell your teenager self? That you're going to have a beautiful life.
Hope is what she wants for every human trafficking survivor to hold on to. In Northeast Bakersfield, Cecilia Trevino, 17 News.